I see this in story structure a lot, like filmmaking. So not necessarily nonfiction, maybe. I mean, I think it could apply there too. Where people try to stick too closely to a template or a
Yeah.
formula and write it that way versus maybe just getting it out, starting with your outline, getting it out, and then maybe restructuring it later where it's like, well, where's my inciting incident? It's supposed to happen at this
Yeah.
stage, etc.
Yeah. The example that I use is bumper bowling. You always want to start with bumper bowling. Bumper bowling teaches you how to bowl because it just shows you when you don't have any idea where the ball is going to go when you throw it down the lane. It's really nice to have the bumpers there, or you're just going to spend the whole time with your ball in the gutter. But eventually, the goal is to get the bumpers off. Eventually, the goal is that there's like almost metaphysical bumpers. Like your muscle memory tells you you don't toss the ball there. Um, there's a book that came out in 2022 called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. I'm blanking on the author's name right this minute, but she's fabulous. The book was the best book I had read in a couple of years. I was just enamored with this book. And I was trying to figure out, like, where did this person come from? Because it's not common to have a book come out and it's the author's first book and it's such a breakout book. It's like, New York Times bestseller, millions of readers, everybody's loving it, and it's so well written, so well done. So I started doing research on this woman to try to Gottlieb, is that her name?
Yep.
So I started doing research on this woman to find out where she came from, and sure enough, she came out of movies and TV. She was a writer on Friends. She was a writer on, I think, the show ER. So
Wow.
I'm like, no wonder her first book was as good as it was because she understands how stories work.
Hmm.
When people tell me they write without an outline, 99.99% of the time, the reason that they can write a great book without an outline is because the outline is built into their DNA. They know so well how
Yep.
stories work.
Yep.
They've practiced it so intimately that it
Hmm.
just comes out of them that way. And that's the goal, is for us to get to the place where we
Yeah.
know it so intimately we don't need to sit there and look at, like, okay, so when does the inciting incident happen? You just That's just how you tell a story.